Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And today we are going to talk about potentially an October surprise.
Yes.
And it sounded like an October surprise that came early.
Yes, we might have gotten our October surprise a few weeks early.
And it's not even from the Democrats on Trump. It's Trump on Trump.
Surprise.
I know, right?
So, yeah, go ahead.
So, over the last few days, at different rallies, according to the article that I was looking earlier, there's been like 3 times, Trump has acknowledged, I hope you're sitting for this.
I am sitting.
That he lost the 2020 election by a whisker. Yeah, I know.
Jaw drops everywhere. We should have put out a PSA to tell everyone to sit down and lock your jaw, clench it tight.
Now, the fact that he lost it like 306 to 200 and whatever electoral votes, and the popular vote was like 5 million. He was 5 million less than the popular vote, notwithstanding.
Yes.
The fact that he is saying he lost the election by a whisker has caused some repercussions in amongst allies of Trump, amongst some of his most rabid supporters.
Indeed.
So, like in this article we have here, white nationalist Nick Fuentes. Okay, he actually, I believe, he met up with Trump in Mar-a-Lago.
They had a meal together at Mar-a-Lago.
Yes,
that made the news.
He on September 4th he blasted Trump for admitting that he lost the 2020 election, and Nick said, "I will work against you. I'm going to get voters not to back Trump." And and here's the quote. And I think this is on his podcast when he said, it's on his podcast.
It's on his podcast.
Quote, "So why did we stop the steal? Why did anyone go to January 6th? Why did anyone go to jail? It would have been good to know before 1,600 people got charged. It would have been good to know that before I had all my money frozen, put on a no-fly list, banned from everything, lost all my bank and payment processing." Wow. Wow.
So Trump's lies directly impacted Nick Fuentes, now he's unhappy.
And, I'm sure Nick Fuentes bore like a true patriot because, Trump had the election stolen from him and he lost all these rights and privileges that he had. But, he was a good soldier and a patriot and defended Trump until he found out Trump was lying.
Yes.
Now, I'm glad you were all sitting down for this because I know it's shocking news to believe that Trump lied about something.
I know, it's shocker shocks. Now, with this...
And the lie wasn't he lost by a whisker.
Yeah, this whole reading kind of came about. We just did a live stream with Sherry, Voices from the Swamp.
So, we record this on Saturday.
Yeah, so we just were on the live stream about 3 hours ago with her. And that was one of the questions that came up is MAGA going to start breaking apart because of this revelation that Trump actually lied. And the cards the reading was actually very interesting. It was a little 4-carder that we did on that. So if you haven't seen the live stream, look it up. Sherry, Voices from the Swamp. The live stream was today on Saturday. Some really good readings we had on that. But we wanted to take that and expand on it. So it was kind of, I think the comment I made was something that's like, Nick Fuentes, he's a little late, but he finally joined the party. It's, hey, welcome to the party, pal. You made it. You're a little late. That's okay. We still have some beer for you. But, it's kind of getting to the point where now you've got Dick Cheney has come out officially and said he is not supporting Trump, that Trump is singularly the most dangerous person in the nation to seek the office of the presidency. I'm kind of paraphrasing there, and so and Dick Cheney is about as conservative as you're going to get without being MAGA.
Yeah, well, pretty much. If you're to the right of Dick Cheney, you're a fascist.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the demarcation line.
Yeah, if you're to the right of Cheney, you're MAGA.
If you're left of Cheney, you probably have an ounce of empathy.
So now Cheney's coming out and saying, "Yeah, no way, I'm supporting Harris on this," and even on the right side, on the right of Cheney, you got Nick Fuentes coming out saying, he lied to us. You set us up. You've gotten hundreds and hundreds of people arrested, 1,600 people charged because you couldn't handle losing. So now you've got the MAGA faction is starting to challenge it. And on top of all this, Judge Chutkan is going to move forward with her case where Jack Smith can now start outlining the information that the grand jury testimony, some of which we don't know about yet.
Yeah, it's new stuff.
And it's going to be outlining the case.
January 6th case.
The January 6th case. The one that Trump just admitted that he lost the election, and the whole January 6th case was about, the insurrection. And the folks on the Republican Party and MAGA may actually tune in to watch this or read about it, because sure as hell they weren't watching the January 6th trials like the rest of us were. But this is something they actually tune in for, and maybe Fox News won't spin it quite as hard.
I'm going to look at... Gary had alluded earlier, again with the reading with Sherry, that Trump might be saying that he lost by a whisker because of information that's going to come out as a result of this grand jury. Because Trump's already seen the grand jury documents as the defendant.
Yeah.
So he knows what's in there. And if Trump is saying he lost the election by a whisker, there's going to be a ton of evidence and testimony saying he lost the election, he was told he lost the election, he understood he lost the election, and admitted he lost the election, and there's going to be no way for him to refute that.
Yeah, so this is kind of his way of...
Maybe I lost just by a little bit.
Trying to squeak through, and that's why he lost by a whisker.
He's going to minimize the lie.
Yeah.
I said I lost the thing. I just said I lost by a whisker. He's going to try and minimize the impact. Now, what he shouldn't minimize is the impact it's going to have on the Nick Fuentes of the world. Now, Nick Fuentes is now going to, on his podcast, is going to trash on Trump. And you can bet that when information comes out on the January 6th case, he is going to discuss it, and he's going to discuss it in a more fair and balanced way. It's still going to be a right-wing spin, but what it's going to be is he's going to hold Trump's feet to the fire for what Trump did, and he's going to apologize for the actions of the people that reacted to what Trump told him.
Yeah, because Nick Fuentes was personally impacted by this. It is now personal. Yeah. And MAGA is all about personal.
Yeah, they are truly the victims in this one. Yeah. As we have said before.
They finally can be the victims, legit victims.
And some folks will stop listening to Nick Fuentes because he's speaking out against dear leader, and he's obviously a Democrat or something like that.
He's a rhino.
And he needs to be ignored. Others are going to look at it and say, hearing Nick Fuentes saying it to him is going to be a mic drop moment. Like, what? They believe him. They trust him. So they're going to want to hear more what he has to say because he's told them what to think and how to think, much like Steve Bannon does for years. And now he's going to start telling them what's in this court case. So more and more people are going to get exposed to this latest information that comes from the grand jury.
And a lot of this information is going to come out late September and early October. Surprise. Yeah. So we're kind of thinking that this may be the October surprise that happens in the election cycle.
So let's take a look at how this is going, the revelation, Trump admitting that he lost the election by a whisker, how it's going to resonate through the ranks of the MAGA crowds that have supported him. Obviously, realize some people have drunk deep from the Kool-Aid. They're deep in the cult. They're not going to let go of Trump. They just aren't.
Yeah.
But some will. And, they're going to more listen to Nick Fuentes than they ever will Dick Cheney, much less some idiot like you or me.
Yes. So for entertainment purposes only.
All right. So foundational reading is the 10 of Wands. What's the impact on MAGA? A huge burden here. It crossed with the 4 of Swords and the 2 of Wands. Mm-hmm. This is now going to be Nick Fuentes. This is going to be the albatross. This is going to be the millstone that he carries. Atlas with the weight of the world. He has been inconvenienced, burdened by everything he did by being a patriot, and all was a lie. And he's now the 4 of Swords. He he might have to stop and rethink his life.
Yeah, he's got to contemplate this whole situation.
Right, because his world just got turned upside down. One of the basic tenets of his life was Donald Trump had the election stolen from him, and I'm going to help him bury that burden. And he just found out that that's been a lie. He's been living a lie the last 4 years. And what's he going to do next? Mm-hmm. Past 2 of coins. He's watching everything that he valued getting devalued. He's starting to flip in his opinion. 1, he's been personally inconvenienced by this, but 2, he's figuring out he's been lied to. And this is opening up a new world for him and the folks that listen to his podcast. It's interesting. He considers those people to be his people. That's one of, he's upset that he was inconvenienced, but he's also, looking at, again, when he talks about the 1,600 people that were arrested and charged, he doesn't even mention all the people who've lost their jobs and suffered with this, all because of a lie. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying Nick Fuentes is up for the Humanitarian of the Year award, but his life was less luxurious and less taken care of.
If I could jump in, you remember, he's also been spreading this message to his followers. When we do these readings, we're very aware of our audience, and we really do care about you, and we're trying to do our best to provide as unbiased as unbiased.
Well, you might try to give him bias. I'm so thoroughly biased.
Yeah, try and give you an unbiased reading here, and really go with the intuition on this.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he feels the same way about the people that listen to his podcast. He cares about them. Yeah. He genuinely cares about them.
Now, mind you, his podcast is his bread and butter, and he's going to lose folks.
Yeah,
he's absolutely going to lose folks. But you know what? The crap that he went through for it to be a lie, he's outraged. He is absolutely outraged. And now he needs to make a decision. I think he's already made his decision. He's going to speak out against Trump. And he's going to be a loud voice against Trump. This is literally not traitor, but this is kind of like the recognizing that you've been duped and lied to, and now I'm going to lead the countercharge against you.
Yeah. It's it's when all I think, and I mentioned this in Sherry's podcast, but you're okay giving when you feel like it's appreciated and valued, but when you feel like you've been taken advantage of and lied to, that shuts it down real fast. And right now, Nick Fuentes is looking at this saying, you lied to us, we sacrificed our freedom and our rights for you, and all for a lie.
They haven't really sacrificed their, well, I guess they have, women's rights, but their freedoms and the conveniences that they thought for a noble cause, and it turns out it was a lie.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe not quite their rights, but certainly their freedoms. And
I said rights earlier, too.
Okay, but certainly their freedom.
They're more than willing to sacrifice other people's rights.
Yeah. They're willing to sacrifice the alt-right.
Yeah, exactly. As one woman in the Midwest had said, Trump's punishing the wrong people when he enacted his tariffs. Yet again, being a Trump supporter, you ended up punishing yourself.
Oh, yeah. Trump's tariff. It's only MAGA that would buy into the fact that tariffs were a good idea. Yeah. Anyone that has a modicum of any kind of financial knowledge understands what a tariff is. It's a tax. It's not the Chinese that are paying for it. It's the U.S. consumer. Yep. You're artificially raising the price of the goods.
Right. The funny thing is, you could get through to Amici. It's like, so if it costs companies more money for the same goods, who do you think they're going to pass that cost on to customers?
Yeah.
It's like, you think they're going to just take a profit and loss, or you think they're going to pass that on to their customers? And they're cynical enough to know, they'll pass it on to the customers.
Yeah, guess who the customers are?
Yeah, and you're the customer, right? It's just like that dullard look, like as the term is buffering. When your computer's spinning, and their mind's buffering, and then they have to fall back on. But China's going to pay for it because that's what they're told. Because that's where the logic circuit is flailing, and they want to go to fail-safe, which is I made MAGA my identity.
Yeah.
So China's going to pay for it. It's like, but that's not true. The U.S. companies pay the tariff, and then they're going to pass the cost on to you. So that means you're paying for the tariff, but China's going to pay for it.
China would technically pay for it if we had, I don't know, manufacturing capability that was untapped in the United States. But since we shipped it all off to China and Vietnam and places in the Far East where labor's cheap, guess what? There's the only one you're penalizing is the U.S. consumer with the tariff.
Trump went on a rant. He was asked a question. What are you going to? Childcare is expensive. What are you going to do? What specifically policy would you put in place to help lower the cost of childcare? And he went on this 360-word rant. It was on Bo, the Fifth Column today. And in there he talked about taxing foreign nations, which his mindset, what a tariff is like, taxing foreigners living abroad.
Yes.
It's like, dude, that's not how that works. You may have convinced yourself that that's how that works, but that's not how that works. But that's what that's what he says at his rallies, and his drooling zombie supporters just repeat what he says.
Yeah, exactly. It's because it's easier. Because it all makes sense if you don't think about it. Okay, so the second part of this, impact on votes.
Yeah.
So do you want to do MAGA or just your mainstream Republican?
I'm not carried. I'm not worried about mainstream Republicans.
Okay.
They're not going to listen to Nick Fuentes.
Well, they will listen to Dick Cheney, maybe.
Well, I think this is... Well, yeah, if you want to read on Dick Cheney, sure.
Not really. Okay, so will Republican support for Trump erode because of the combination of Dick Cheney coming out and saying this man is a clear and present danger to democracy, and the Nick Fuentes of the world's coming out saying he lied to us, and we sacrificed...
We're mad as hell, and we're not going to take it anymore.
We sacrificed so much for a lie. And like I said, Trump probably did this for two reasons. One, he said he lost by a whisker because he's probably trying to get out in front of these court cases where this evidence is going to make it very clear that he lied. And two, that he's trying to appeal more to the mainstream Republicans that may be heading towards Harris. So I think in the end, he may have created his own Nine of Swords.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so...
Why check the bottom of the deck to make sure you're flipping those cards over properly?
Okay, yeah, I've got it. Okay, I've got the bottom of the deck there.
I saw the bottom of the deck.
You can all see it now there, too. Okay, so... is this going to erode Republican support for Trump's presidency because of his October surprise? Okay. Foundation, the Four Swords, they are now thinking about it.
To me, it's like that's going to cool things down a little bit.
Oh, yeah. These are people that were they were rabid. These are Trump's best and most ardent supporters, and they don't question anything. They are now stopping to step back and think about it. This is probably primarily Nick Fuentes saying, you lied to us. And that's the biggest impact, is because MAGA is so faithful, and now you've got one of the most MAGA of the MAGA saying, you lied. You sacrificed us for your vanity. Cross with the Page of Swords. You had this reckless messaging these reckless actions. You're the kid with the cardboard sword attacking stuff that didn't exist. Underneath it was the lovers' cards. We had an agreement. We supported you. We loved you. We believed everything you told us.
Two of Cups, but okay, but same meaning.
Yeah, Two of Cups. You were telling us that this thing got stolen. We had this emotional agreement here, this bonding that we were together. We were going to get you back into the White House because this was stolen from you.
Yep, it was. Trump was telling me.
Well, it was by a whisker. In the past, the Three of Swords. In the past, you've had really bad health events. Oh no, wait a minute. So wrong reading. That'll be the next reading, I'm sure. Three of Swords. In the past, you've broken hearts. You have damaged families. You have damaged relationships. You've damaged the Constitution. You've damaged democracy with your actions.
You lied to us. You betrayed us. You betrayed our trust.
Yes. Current situation, Ace of Cups. It's a whole new flood of emotions coming out.
This is kind of like your girlfriend broke up with you, or you've run up a bunch of debt, and then you find out, well, she hasn't been working for a year. She's been lying about going to her job.
Yeah.
She's been lying about the money that she's got coming in. She's been, fooling around on you. She's been shoplifting. She's been running up your credit cards without your knowledge, taking out loans with your name on it. It's just like, holy crap, I have been played for fool.
Fool. Yeah, breaking hearts and new emotions.
Poo butt. Been treated like a poo butt.
That's right. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I knew for just 1 second, you'd be back to bother me. The overarching energy is the High Priestess. It's the secrets are coming out. The secrets are now out. You lost by a whisker.
The secrets, the cat's out of the bag, eh?
Yeah, and the wisdom, the wisdom is and intelligence and knowledge is now coming forth. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, now we see what's been going on here. There we go, the old Knight of Swords. Lesson to be learned. We all charged into the Capitol building to defend you and save democracy, and you lied to us. You lied.
To his most fervent, the type of people that would storm a Capitol and risk their freedoms are now your worst nightmare.
Yep.
Because guess what? What they'll do for you?
Yeah, they'll do to you.
They'll do to you. What do they got to lose? At least doing it to you, it's paying you back.
Okay. Payoff card. I'm going to show them first.
Oh my.
Oh dear. Payoff card.
We were a bunch of noobs.
6 of Cups. Yep. We believed you.
Yep.
We trusted you. We were your children. You said we were special and you cared about us. And that wasn't that basically what he said? You're special. I'll go home. Now go home.
Yeah. You're loved. You're special.
Yeah. And he lied. You lied to us.
Again, it's like being in a relationship with somebody who has a secret life.
Yeah.
And you've been helping fund the secret life. You've been emotionally supporting the secret life. And this whole time, you've been making sacrifices for this relationship. And you find out that this is a guy that has another wife and 3 kids in another city. And maybe another wife and a kid in another city. And you've just been like, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe I've been through all of this for this guy who lied to me.
Yeah.
It's a pretty reasonable analogy. And now, retribution comes.
Yes, indeed.
And these are the type of people that like retribution. They don't shy away from retribution. They've already shown that they're willing to storm the Capitol and attack police officers for you. Now that you lied to them and you played them like poo butts, they're going to be twice as angry.
Yeah. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Trump coming out admitting he lost by a whisker and having Nick Fuentes riled up and Dick Cheney riled up is going to have a negative impact on voter turnout for him.
Can you imagine the Lincoln Project's commercials that will come from this?
Oh, boy.
I can already visualize it. Showing the January 6th rioters and, stop the steal. I lost by a whisker. So the rioters, I lost by a whisker. They stole this election from us. I lost by a whisker. And showing all these people getting arrested, going to prison, stuff like that. And just the I lost by a whisker is repeated every 5 seconds as a voiceover.
Yeah. If they do that, they owe you.
He lied.
If they do that, they owe you like a commission.
I would have that out already. Just, because I was about to say the Democrats do this messaging too, but the Lincoln Project, this is right in their wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Is, getting it out there to folks like he lied. Don't let this is an opportunity. This is literally like taking a chisel to the iceberg. And there's going to be a crack in there, and you want to force that crack wide open.
Well, yeah, the crack's there, so get the wedge and the sledgehammer and pound it in there.
Get that thing split it
open
as far and wide fast as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
This is honestly for Trump. He's talking about shooting yourself in the foot. But I guess.
Well, it's just a series because he also went on that interview. And he was saying that, with the election interference, what was he? He basically he admitted that he interfered and he had a right to as a president.
Oh yeah, of course.
and of course they could do that. Who's he was interviewing with? Was some guy from Fox News.
Oh, was it Tucker? It wasn't Tucker.
No, not Tucker.
I'm sure that Sean Hannity.
No, it wasn't Hannity. It was someone else. It was a recent. I'm sure in the comments they're all going to be telling us what it is. But he basically admitted to it, and I forget who made the comment. It was just like it was either senator or congressman. I think it was a guy from California actually. He said, "How stupid are you? You just admitted to."
That sounds like Eric Swalwell. Swalwell would say something like that.
So. Yeah, Trump shooting himself in the foot. He's gotten away with it and gotten away with it. He might have finally hit something, hit an organ.
Yeah, this certainly is going to hit a nerve.
Yeah,
and he's got Nick Fuentes so angry. Nick Fuentes is going to work against him, and that's going to snowball as well. So, Trump's he's coming apart.
Yeah,
he's absolutely coming apart.
The wheels are coming off.
Gary's trying to Google.
Yeah, but I'll do that later. Okay, yeah, we don't want to hit pause.
Yeah, anyways, we've gone on long enough. Thank you for watching this video and supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
Yes, if you like this nonsense, give us a thumbs up. If you really like it, subscribe and leave a comment. I read them all and I respond to many.
And if you're feeling generous, you can donate to the Save the Chubby Unicorns Foundation.
Yes, we are really passionate about saving the chubby unicorns. Yes. It's funny because this is a rhino.
Yes, and it has more than one horn, so it's not really a unicorn. It's a diacorn, a bicorn.
It's a very rare
bicorn,
or tricorn, I guess. Anyways, thank you for watching, folks. Have a great day.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.